Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a drama thriller film called Nanny Cam from 2014. Enjoy your viewing. Nanny Barbara Highsmith has been a great babysitter for little Chloe for a long time. However, today, when the couple Mark and Linda Kessler went to a restaurant to celebrate their wedding anniversary, the woman had a bout of disorientation while preparing dinner. The girl decided to help the babysitter, but ended up burning her hand, thus ending the vacation for her parents. Doctors later tell the couple that their old employee has dementia. Bitterly, Linda tells Barbara that they can no longer use her services and complains to her husband that due to the backlog at work, they urgently need to find a new nanny, this time a younger one. Back at the office, Linda gets a lucrative contract to create a spaghetti commercial that she wants to present as part of a typical American family's dinner. Meanwhile, Mark starts construction work on the cottage. The girl leaves the house to wait for her father and decides to play, but is stopped by a girl passing by. This passerby turns out to be a nice girl named Heather, who quickly gains Mark and Chloe's trust. She assures the girl that her burn from the incident with the babysitter is her specialty, and adds that she herself has a specialty, a bruise on her leg left by a bad boy. Mark brings Heather home and introduces her to his wife, telling her that she lives nearby and is looking for a job as a nanny to earn money for college. Linda doesn't trust her very much, but after the interview, Heather proves herself to be a good fit and leaves the phone number of a family she used to work for who can give her a good reference. Before going to bed, Chloe convinces her mom to hire Heather. Linda decides to call the same family. The woman gives Heather a great reference, saying that she has taken care of her 3 children after school. This is almost completely satisfying to Linda, and she calls Heather to ask her to start work in the morning. Just in case, Linda installs surveillance cameras at home, telling her husband it's okay. The next day, a local boy taunts Chloe, laughing at her custody, until Heather stops him, demanding that he call the girl special. Heather and Chloe then go home to have a tea party. Meanwhile, Linda goes to a specialty store and buys a surveillance camera disguised as an electronic alarm clock. One day, while Heather is out getting iced tea, Chloe goes over to Barbara to chat with her. When the new nanny finds them together, she asks Chloe to come inside, and Barbara angrily declares that the family hates her because she has caused their child physical and psychological trauma. A disappointed and confused Mrs. Highsmith is spotted by Linda, but Heather says that the former nanny attacked her out of jealousy. Linda explains that Barbara is just sick and invites Heather to stay for dinner. While cooking, Heather says that she dreams of having 4 children so that they can help each other. Linda replies that the girl is thinking maturely for her age, because when she was 18, she thought very differently and made many mistakes. The phone rings in the house. Heather answers it, and when she hears Barbara trying to apologize to Linda again for the incident with Chloe, she says that it would be better for the family if she left as soon as possible. After dinner that night, Heather goes to Mrs. Highsmith's house. The next day, Linda receives a phone call informing her that their former nanny has died. As if nothing had happened, Heather plays with Chloe on the lawn and then flirts with Mark in a wet t-shirt when he stops by the house to get a screwdriver. The next day, Heather suggests that Chloe, who was preparing to perform with the violin at the school talent show, should rehearse her monologue from the novel Little Women. After that, she cleans the whole house. When Linda notices the cleaning, she sternly demands that the nanny only take care of their daughter, which offends and upsets the girl. At night, Linda watches a video of Heather and Chloe talking for 3 hours. In the morning, however, the girl lies and says that they had been watching a movie all day. She also says that instead of playing the violin, she wants Chloe to perform a monologue at a talent show. When Linda finds out, she sternly tells Heather that her daughter is going to perform at school with the violin and asks what they talked about for 3 hours. The girl replies, embarrassed, that because of Mrs. Highsmith's death, Chloe wanted to learn more about death, and that's what they talked about. After Linda leaves, Heather realizes that she is being watched and finds a hidden camera. The next day, Mark shows potential buyers the cottage he is building. However, due to problems with the wiring, the deal is scrapped and Mark himself is injured. He informs his wife, but she is more concerned about her project than his problems. At home, Heather is examining Mark's leg, talking in passing about a fight with her boyfriend because she wants to start a family, while he only cares about his career. After that, she tries to kiss Mark, but when he refuses, she suddenly says that she knows about the hidden camera and asks if he is spying on her. Mark asks Heather to go home, but decides to watch today's recording. In the video, he sees the nanny performing a dance for him. Mark deletes the incriminating video, but the girl's strange behavior forces Linda to install new hidden cameras in the house with sound. On the day of Chloe's performance at the talent show, Linda asks her bosses to let her leave work early. Heather, after picking up the girl, leaves to supposedly start the car. However, she calls 911 and reports that a woman who looks like Linda has kidnapped her child. The police stop Linda, search her car, and because of this, she misses her daughter's performance, who nevertheless gives a monologue. Linda loses her patience and decides to talk to Heather's parents. The girl finally confesses that she is not a local, but ran away from home 6 months ago. She says her parents were horrible and that she just wanted to find a new family. Heather leaves in tears, and Mark tells his wife that it was the nanny who supported their daughter in her time of need. Linda decides to call the family again, where Heather says she used to work. However, the girl who used to pretend to be Mrs. McCready does not answer the phone. Later, Linda visits Chloe, who says that she knew Heather had run away from home and that she was very unhappy before she met them. The girl demands that her mother bring the nanny back. Mark deletes all the videos of Heather, telling his wife that it is wrong to spy on people and that he is not going to deprive his daughter of another nanny, to whom she has already become attached because of her paranoia. Linda points out that Chloe is not the only one who has become attached to the nanny. Heather is watching from her own hidden camera in the attic of the cottage. At work, Linda watches the camera footage and learns that Heather's father's name is Jake. She finds his address and goes there. Jake and his wife confirm that Heather ran away from home. The man tells her that he is fond of photography and shows her pictures of his daughter in strange clothes. Linda concludes that Jake is a bad father and says she has the wrong address. As she leaves the house, she hears a woman begging her not to bring Heather back home. Meanwhile, Mark meets Heather after work, who offers him a drink and tells him that they will have dinner without Linda. When the man sits down at the table, he feels that something has been spiked in his drink. The last thing he hears before he loses consciousness is Heather saying that they need to work out their relationship. Linda returns home late to find her husband asleep in bed. The next morning, she tells him about the trip and about Heather's father. Mark unexpectedly agrees to fire the nanny, saying that they don't need someone with a psychological trauma. Linda is happy about this decision. Heather comes to the house and talks about her trip to her parents, admitting that she wanted to find a new family here, but realizes that it's over for her. She leaves with a few good words for Linda. The day comes for the presentation of the spaghetti commercial that Linda has been preparing all this time. But at some point, a scene appears on the screen where an unconscious Mark is lying in bed and Heather is having fun. Furious, Linda rushes home and accuses her husband of cheating, even though he doesn't understand what she's talking about. Linda comes to the conclusion that Heather has come into their lives to take her family away. She runs to her daughter's room, but Chloe is not there. When the detective arrives, the couple tells him about the nanny who might have kidnapped their daughter. The police officer says that he has found information about the Lamberts, who were only Heather's foster parents. All that is known about her biological mother is that she abandoned the baby at St. Anthony's Hospital shortly after birth. This information shocks Linda. After the detective leaves, she watches the hidden camera footage. The video shows Heather crawling out from under Chloe's bed, telling her to run away, and telling the mother on camera to come get her daughter at the house Mark is building. Linda rushes to the attic of the unfinished cottage, where Heather, threatening Chloe, confesses that her husband left her after the birth of her daughter. She learned this from a camera recording in the maternity ward of St. Anthony's Hospital, where her mother left her in the cold. Heather says that while living in a foster home with an abusive father, she dreamed of finding her mother, thinking she was unhappy without her. But when she saw a happy family, she decided to infiltrate it to destroy it from the inside. Linda admits that she really did leave her child when she was 18, leaving the locket behind. She later found her daughter and followed her foster family. But when the girl and her foster mother got into a fatal car accident, the medallion was returned to Linda by her foster father. Therefore, Heather cannot be her daughter, but is just another child who was abandoned that night. Heather does not believe Linda's words and makes her faint. And when Mark arrives, the girl declares that she wants to start a family with him and Chloe. She shoots him with a pistol with several nails. The girl is going to get rid of Chloe, saying that Linda does not deserve a daughter. The woman struggles with her and eventually says she is not her mother and throws Heather out the window. However, after lying motionless for a while, the girl disappears. Time passes. The Kesslers move to a new house and pay more attention to their daughter. And Heather, having changed her appearance a bit, goes to the new house with her little son, whom she named Mark, in honor of Chloe's foster father. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klonsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.